Alright, so this is kind of different than my normal setup, but it's because I just wanted to come up with this video after a brainstorm of mine. So I was just sitting down journaling and I came up with this. So let me get this to y'all real quick. Alright, so I'm going to tell you how to program your food. I just wrote this stuff down just now. So real quick, I realized that a lot of people don't really know how to program their food properly. People eat mindlessly. I've noticed that that's actually a more common thing than not. Majority of people, they just eat for entertainment because they hungry or they want some kind of like physical feeling that they are lacking. So a lot of people are addicted to food and they don't really have control over the gut brain, which is what your other people might call your stomach. So anyways, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the different forms of food and we're going to talk about how you can use this to your advantage. So first of all, let's talk about bread, right? All right, so say I got specific intentions and I want to utilize bread. It would be a good time for you to utilize bread when you have something that you need, okay? So mind you, this language is put together in such an immaculate way to where all of these things have subliminal messages in them. So if you know anything about making bread, you know that it starts off with dough. What do you do with dough? You knead dough, aka you work it, and when you're massaging it and stuff, that's called kneading it. So if you want to utilize the proper foods for something that you're trying to fulfill as far as something you need, you might want to utilize something that is in a bread form. Of course, you're not supposed to overdo eating any of this stuff. I mean, but that's obvious. You got to have inner wisdom, and obviously, if you're allergic to any of this stuff, don't eat it. Duh. But so bread is for something you need, fulfilling your needs. That's why they call money bread. Like you get, they call it bread. It's kind of like utilizing money can actually get you a lot of the material things that you may need. So keep that in mind. All right, let's keep on going. So if you want to eat sweets, right? Obviously, you shouldn't eat too much sweets, but if you're going to utilize sweets, when I think of something being sweet, I think of it being of the love energy. So if you want to attract more love, maybe you eat something sweet like chocolate or something like a piece of candy or something like that. And that could help you to, I mean, obviously it's all about your intention. So you have to be mindfully doing this, but you could utilize that in a way to where you're giving yourself the love that you need. Obviously, you need to be loving on yourself first, and then obviously the other stuff will come later. But obviously, if you can do it on yourself, you can do it to somebody else too. But that's why it's important to master your own mind first, because controlling other people who don't have control over their mind, that's a piece of cake. Because I mean, no pun intended, but talking about being sweet, the whole point is to love on yourself and figure out who you are, because then everyone else and everything else in your surroundings, you can master that no problem. All right, keep on going. Eating liquids, or drinking liquids, consuming liquids. Liquid is about flexibility, the feminine energy, open-mindedness. So if you want to make sure that you're more open-minded and you want to be more receptive, maybe utilize the liquids, okay? Keep on going. Plants. If you want to eat plants, obviously you should eat more plants than anything, but that's the earth element. So we're talking about how supportive the soil can be. Actually, eating dirt actually has its nutritional benefits, but that's a whole another subject for another time. But if you want to eat something like, say, the tall plants, you could utilize them as far as like masculinity, and then maybe the round shaped plants like cabbage, that's more of the feminine energy. So if you want to receive any one of those specifically, that could be like a small guideline. Obviously, plants are a lot higher vibrational. It can keep you very lightweight, and it'll help you see what you need to get rid of because it has a detoxing effect. So if there's something in your life you might feel like you kind of blocked, you might need to go in a specific span of your time sometime soon, just eating only plants, and you'll get that detox you need, and you'll be able to identify what it is that you need to remove out of your life, what or whom it is that is getting in the way, and how to get rid of them properly and whatnot. All right, eating fruit. Fruit could show you what you need to add into your life, okay? So if vegetables show you what you need to get rid of, fruit can show you what you need to add, because of course fruit it's got a lot of sugar in it. It's got high vibrational energies. I mean, when I think of a fruit, I think about the feminine part of it. But when you think about the tree comes up And in a masculine form, when it comes up, that's like the vegetables, right? And then the fruit that come off of the tree, that makes the tree a feminine being also, because it's able to give life. So I feel like fruit gives you the perfect balance of both things, and knowing what you need to utilize and what you need to add to your life. That's why I say fruit is what it is. Okay, now you can combine some of this stuff like sandwiches, right? If you're making a sandwich, you can combine your ideas and your needs, because you know you're eating bread also, and your creativity as a result. If you don't know, sand has to do with like being coarse, and a witch actually has to do. If you look at the etymology of the word witch, witch actually is salt bearing, so it has something to do with like a salt pit or something that has to do with salt. So when you're combining salt and sugar, that kind of gives you that balance of knowing and being able to act and do what it is that you need to do. So it's kind of like a knowing yourself kind of thing. But obviously, you shouldn't be eating too much bread in the first place. But we already know this. And lastly, if you want to utilize meat, which sometimes you do, whenever you're meeting someone, it's about attracting someone that you're interested in, or you can combine your energies with, and something that they might have to offer. Parasiticity, a parasite finds a host and they take energy from the host. Sometimes people want somebody to feed off of. Sometimes you just feel like you have too much to offer. So that's just a quick video. That's about like bonding and blood and hosting and all that stuff. If you want to trap somebody, meat's the way.